Just to give a little intro to the organisers, this is the organising committee. It's been really great working with them all. I guess we can just, we all just introduced ourselves, and you can't see online if I ask people to put up their hands, so maybe we won't do that. So myself, I'm Eri, I'm at UCL. We've got Jeff, who's from Earth Sciences New Zealand. We've got Seb and Etienne from LV. They can't be in person, but we've got Etienne handling everything online, which is super useful. We've got Penny, Kyla, and Echo giving talks today, and then John and Tom have been our co-hosts who allowed us to host this workshop here. Really crucial for that was essentially we run it at the Goldschmidt venue, we couldn't do hybrid. So allowing us to host it here at the Hill means that we can do hybrid. So that was really useful. So thank you for your help in person. For sponsorship. So this workshop was free, and that's because we got a grant from the Royal Society Te Apārangi in Aotearoa New Zealand called Catalyst Leading Grant, and that means part of that we can put this workshop on, so that's paid for food in person and the venue hire. So we're very thankful that they supported this workshop. I thought I'd just start with a little bit about the previous workshop we hosted. We're not going to go into too much detail, but essentially 3 years ago at Aotearoa, we had the first modelling behaviour volatile magmas workshop, which was in person in Aotearoa, but also hybrid online, which turned out to be particularly useful when a bunch of people's flights got redirected due to the Auckland floods and people couldn't actually attend in person. But the kind of outputs from that workshop is a kind of set of videos on YouTube. So most of the talks are recorded. So if you ever want to go back and have a look at those, that's available. And then we also put together a workshop report, which is available on Archive, kind of detailing what we did and what the discussions kind of produced. Sort of briefly what we did in that workshop. To begin with, we had the developers of a few of the different degassing models actually give talks about their models. So we had 4 of them come and give talks to kind of give a little bit of an insight into how they're produced and how they work. So if those are recorded talks, so if you've ever wondered about those, you can go back and have a look at that. We also started a bit of model benchmarking and intercomparison. So we got the developers of different tools to run their model for a set of compositions that we decided. So for a morb, fuego, an anthracite Super Hills, and monocraters rhyolite. And this is just very small, just to show you that the results were quite different between the models. And this sort of inspired what you'll see later today of a full kind of comparison between these different tools to try and unpick what's going on. There was also time for quite a lot of discussion in that workshop. So we came up with these 3 questions. What are the experimental and modelling gaps? What do observational researchers need the codes to do? And whether we can link monitoring needs to kind of solubility outputs. We basically had a keynote kind of talk on each of these topics, and then we broke out into kind of little groups, both in person and online, and had some discussion. And the kind of summary of that full discussion is in that workshop report. But the kind of key points that came out of that are 1, that we need a review paper on existing models, which we will very excitedly be showing later today. There was a need to make the models user-friendly and transparent. And so today we've got some exercises running through some of the models to hopefully try and show you how you can use them to compare against different codes as well. People wanted to be able to integrate different types of data as well. The importance of understanding disequilibrium came through. That's not something we're actually going to be covering really today, but is something that's probably still highly relevant. And when we've got some discussion later, might be something to talk about. And then also the need for new solubility data to expand major element composition space, both for intermediate melts, but also halogens. So one of our talks later is on chlorine to kind of showcase this. So moving on to kind of today's workshop, I just thought I'd show a little bit about who we've got here, both online and in the room. So we had a really great amount of people sign up, which was really exciting to see. And from a whole host of different countries, which was really nice. So we've got quite a spread of where people are from. And again, we really wanted to be hybrid and record it to try and improve the accessibility for this workshop. As we heard maybe in the intros in the room, we've got quite a wide range of different kind of career levels, but also types. So I'm just showing from IAVC 2023 the same kind of results, but we've got academia from kind of lecturers all the way to kind of master students we heard, but also those kind of from research institutes and monitoring as well. I asked kind of what your speciality was, and we've got, as we heard, like a real range all the way from modeling, experiments, microanalysis, and kind of field measurements and melt inclusions. And this is just a word cloud of what you guys self-identified as what you did. So we have a really wide range of disciplines covered within this kind of volatile area, which is great. This is just to show what tools people had used. So this is what % of people who've responded had used these tools. And we can still see that volatile calc and magmasat are top compared to in 2023. But we're starting to see that I guess all tools almost have gone up in how many people have used them, which is great to see, especially some of the newer codes that are out now. Just to highlight how the day is going to go. So we've got a morning session where we'll have a talk on melt and fluid inclusions, and then followed by an introduction to the Victor platform. And once we've had that introduction to Victor, we're going to hopefully run some exercises live so that we can all have a go at running some calculations to do with melt and fluid inclusions. We'll then have a break for 20 minutes. And there'll be some, for those in person, sorry, those online, we will have some cookies and tea and coffee. Then we'll have a kind of session on volcanic degassing, followed by running some degassing calculations as well. Then we'll have an hour for lunch. And then in the afternoon, it's a little bit different. We'll have kind of 3 talks on sort of different aspects of the volatile problem. So hydrothermal systems, experiments and model calibration, and chlorine and the halogens. Then we'll have a break, another 20-minute break. And then we'll have the model comparisons, which will be really exciting to see how all of the different models compare. We'll have a quick break then, just to kind of reset in the afternoon, followed by some time for discussion on wrap-up and future steps. And then we'll be finishing at 4:30 local time, and we can all wander across to the Goldschmidt opening session. So with that, I am done, and we can get the first speakers up for the melt and fluid inclusion.